What if I told you that your hair can grow by 6 inches or more if you follow my hair care tips? It definitely can, and you have to stick around to find out. Hello everyone, my name is Angela of Afro League, and I'm the one you should listen to when it comes to growing long, healthy, natural hair. I've been natural for 6 years, and my hair is longer than I thought it would be at 6 years. The expectations I had for my hair has been surpassed, and everyone says this to me too. They talk about how my hair is long for somebody who has been natural for 6 years. So who else is in a better position to talk about hair growth and length retention? I am definitely the right person for this position. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about natural hair growth and length retention. Previously, I made a video specifically about hair growth and how growth happens. So if you want to check out that video, I'll have a link in the description. But today we're going to be talking more about length retention. We're going to be talking about the things that you should do to elevate your hair growth rate, but specifically your length retention, because there's a difference between hair growth and length retention. So all of these tips, they are divided into 5 points, 5 key points that you need to really listen to. But before we get into those 5 points, if you are not already subscribed to the channel, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and also turn on your post notifications so that you get notified whenever I upload a new video. Now let us get down to business. I want you to have a book and a pen to jot down the information I am about to share, because I know most times we watch educative content on YouTube and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to remember, but no, you're not going to remember. You need to have it written down so that you can have a physical reminder of the content you just consume. Okay, the first point I am going to state, this point basically sums up everything. The first point is for you to leave your hair alone. Yes, you heard me right. I said leave your hair alone. But before you go about saying Afroleak said you should leave your hair alone, get this straight. Leaving your hair alone does not mean do not wash your hair. Leaving your hair alone does not mean forgetting your hair in a protective style for months. That is not what I mean when I say leave your hair alone, because leaving your hair alone does not equate to neglecting your hair. Those two things are not the same thing. What I noticed in the last 6 years of being natural is that whenever I was doing too much to my hair, especially when I started creating content initially, when I was styling my hair like twice or 3 times in a week. I was constantly styling my hair. I was constantly doing something to my hair. Like I was just all over the place when it came to my hair. What I noticed that period was that I was experiencing a lot of breakage and a lot of hair shedding. And because my hair was breaking, during the period that I was actively styling my hair and actively creating content with my hair was not retaining length at all. And this is a major key when it comes to retaining length or growing your hair long. If you're actively doing something to your hair, you're not giving your hair enough time to recover from the manipulation. You're just going from one style to another, from one experiment to another. Your hair does not have enough time to recover from the manipulation. Your hair will be constantly breaking. That way, you're the enemy of your own progress. You're hindering your hair from growing because it is not experiencing the right conditions to grow. And your hair is also breaking, so you're not retaining as much length as you possibly could. So if the goal is to retain length, or if the goal is to grow your hair faster, you need to leave your hair alone most times. This could be different for a lot of people, but for me right now, this means that I should be styling my hair at most once a week. Once a week and I am done. As you can see, my hair is in twist and I've had my twist in for over 3 weeks. Yes, I've been washing my hair to keep my scalp clean, but I've just left my hair alone. And in this period, I'll be experiencing less breakage and my hair is in the right condition to grow faster. So definitely I'll see a difference in the length of my hair because I have been leaving my hair alone. So the equation is leaving your hair alone equals to less breakage. Less breakage equals to longer hair. It is that simple. Every routine that you should have for your hair when you're leaving your hair alone should be geared towards less breakage. So if you experience less breakage, it means you will retain more hair length. Now this brings me to my next point, which is avoid super manipulative hairstyles, avoid complicated hairstyles. And also, while you're avoiding complicated hairstyles, you also need to avoid really tight hairstyles. Recently on TikTok, I've been seeing beautiful black women post videos about them getting tight ponytails, and those ponytails looked good. I'm not even going to lie, it looked good, it looked laid down. But the problem that 90% of them experienced was they had an instant bald spot in the middle of their head. I'm going to show you one of those videos so you can see what I'm talking about. After watching that video, you can see everybody, it is obvious to everybody that simple hairstyles win all the time. Now, I'm not saying you should not do ponytails. Of course, you should do ponytails. You want to look good, do ponytails, but ensure that it is not tight. If you're not the one installing the ponytail, talk to the hairstylist. Tell them you don't want your hair to be super tight. Because at the end of the day, if you're doing super tight hairstyles, you're the one that is going to end up with bald spots here and there. So avoid super tight hairstyles. Also avoid complicated hairstyles. Hairstyles that would have your hair interwoven here, locked here. If your hairstyle is super complicated, it means your hair went through a lot of manipulation to get it to that state. And most times, if it is not installed by a professional, it will lead to breakage. And even if it is installed by a professional and the person taking down the hair does not do a decent job in taking down the hair, it will lead to breakage. And what did we say about breakage? We said less breakage equals to more length. Okay? Say it with me again. Less breakage equals to more length. That is the goal or the thing you should focus on if you want to have longer hair. Just focus on taking away everything that would increase breakage. The way I measure if a hairstyle is tight for me is, can I move my neck with ease? If I make a hairstyle and I cannot move my neck with ease, it's a red flag. If I make a hairstyle and I cannot move my eyebrows with ease, another red flag. Any hairstyle that will cause you pain is most likely going to be detrimental to the health of your hair. Because most times, if you do really tight hairstyle, you may begin to notice that some hair strands are pulling off, especially around your edges, because most times your edges are weaker compared to the other parts of your hair. So you may notice when you do really tight hairstyle, you begin to see single hair strands pulling off with whitish bob at the ends of the hair. That is a telltale sign that you are forcefully shedding your hair. And if your hair uproots and you see that white bob, it's over. It's all over for you. That means that your hair is pulling out from its roots. And this is even worse compared to breakage. At least with breakage, your hair is breaking at some point in the length of your hair and it's just shorter. So it means you have time for your hair to grow back if you change your hair care practices. But if your hair comes out of its roots, if your hair comes out of its roots, it's gone. It's finished. It is finished. So the hairstyle that I like the most, that I love the most, if you have been watching this channel, I have said it 101 times. But if you've not been watching me, the hairstyle that I love the most is two strand twist. Two strand twist any day and every day. It is simple. It just meets all the criteria that I look for in a hairstyle. Most times when I install it, it is not tight, it is easier to take down, it is a less manipulative hairstyle. And have you noticed something? I've noticed something that most of the people on YouTube that I watch that have like really long hair, you rarely see them do complicated hairstyles. You rarely see them do hairstyles with heavy extensions. Even if they will have extensions in their hair, they have just little extension in their hair. Most times you see them with two strand twists. Let me be honest, that's my observation. Most times you see those people with two strand twists and they have the longest and healthiest hair possible. This tells us that they are doing something right with the two strand twist. Also, another hairstyle that I would recommend, although previously it is not an hairstyle that people would recommend, but I think now that we are gaining more knowledge about it, how to wear the hairstyle, instead of doing tight extensions and heavy extensions, I would recommend you wear a wash and go. Especially if you know how to style your hair in a wash and go. It is just a free hairstyle that leaves your hair free. You don't have to worry about the tightness of a wash and go. Obviously, you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about it being a super manipulative hairstyle. It's just your hair existing in its natural state. So instead of doing super tight hairstyles, a wash and go is something you should try. The next point I'm going to talk about is very important. Yes, every other point is important, but this one, super important. And I think I would have talked about this first. But either way, let's just get into it. The way that you handle your hair during wash day is very important, especially with the way you detangle your hair and the way that you shampoo your hair. The number one mistake a lot of people make that could be causing them to not retain as much length as possible, instead of them to scrub their scalp and elongate their hair while they are washing their hair, they head straight into scrubbing their hair as though it is fabric. This is a visual example of how you should wash your scalp during wash day. You make sure you put your fingers through your hair and then directly scrub your scalp. You do not use the length of your hair to scrub your scalp like I see most people doing. They squeeze their hair to their scalp and use their hair to wash their scalp. That is not how you do it. If you wash your hair that way, you're most likely going to tangle up your hair, and that will just be, it will make wash day stressful. And nobody wants a stressful wash day. I, for one, I know that I don't want a stressful wash day. So this is how I wash the length of my hair. As you can see, I'm pulling the length of my head downwards and just gently wash my hair. Okay, this way my hair does not tangle up, and you can see that I'm also, softly detangling my hair. It's not like a serious detangling, but this way my hair does not tangle up. Even if you've learned how to shampoo your hair properly, you know the direction to pull your hair as you're shampooing your hair, you need to learn how to properly detangle your hair and also use the right tool when it comes to detangling your hair. I don't know who told us that white tooth comb is good for detangling fussy hair, wet fussy hair. Nah, I don't know. For so long when I returned natural, I was using white tooth comb and I dreaded washing my hair. I dreaded washing my hair because detangling was stressful, very stressful. I did not like detangling my hair because then I was using a white tooth comb and it felt like I was doing something wrong. I was it just it was not working. It was not working. Then if I did not have a product with immense amount of sleep, there was no way I would detangle my hair. So the tool that you use in detangling your hair, it is so important. For me, I like using a brush. So if you get your detangling right, get your detangling tools right, you're going to reduce breakage. And of course, like I said in the beginning, once breakage is reduced, it equals to longer hair. Another thing about detangling your hair that I would also like to state is that finger detangling is not bad. But one thing I have noticed is that if I detangle my hair maybe for like 3 or 4 months, like I purely finger detangle my hair, I don't use my brush to detangle my hair, I just find that my hair is prone to more tangles. My hair is prone to having knots. Because finger detangling does not get every shed hair out of your hair, you're most likely going to leave some tangles when you finger detangle. That is just the truth. I found that as much as I loved finger detangling my hair, it was not something that I could realistically do for a long period of time. The balance I found is if I finger detangle my hair this wash day, the next wash day I will certainly use my brush to detangle my hair. And that way I don't have to deal with super tangled hair over a period of time. The next point I'm going to state is mostly for the newbies, mostly for people who just started their natural hair journey or people who have been natural for maybe less than a year or so. Some people may not agree with this point, but I'll say keep your hair stretched, especially if you've not understood or if you do not know how to properly handle your hair when it is shrunken. If you do not know how to detangle your hair, allowing your hair to shrink is a recipe for disaster because most times people are not patient enough to handle their hair when it is shrunken. When your hair gets shrunken, it is prone to tangling up with one another. The tangles are not in a bad way, like your hair is just shrunken. Our hair is not straight, so they just intertwine with each other. So if you do not know how to handle your hair in that state, you are likely to cause more tangles or to intensify the tangles. And most times you're going to feel frustrated and handle your hair anyhow, and that will lead to breakage. And what did I say earlier about breakage? More breakage equals to less growth. Less breakage equals to more growth or longer hair. You get the equation. You get the vision now. So if you do not know how to handle your hair when it's shrunken, just stretch your hair. And when I say stretch your hair, I do not mean blow dry your hair because that in itself, if done frequently, can become another issue. When I mean stretch your hair, I mean maybe put your hair in chunky twists, chunky braids, especially if you like to wear your hair in low puffs or high puffs, or if you like to wear your hair in an afro. At the end of the day, do not sleep with your hair like that in its afro state or in its puffy state. It is important that you put your hair back in a twist or in a braid because this will allow your hair to stay stretched. And note, this is not me saying you should not accept your hair in a shrunken state. I would never come here and say that. What I am saying is do not wear your hair in a shrunken state if you do not know how to handle it. The last point I'm going to state is you have to be less experimental during this period of you trying to grow your hair faster or to retain more length. This is not the time for you to try out any viral products or viral hairstyle. This is a period for you to stick with what you know that works. Find a hairstyle that is not so manipulative and is not so tight and stick with it. This is not the time to try out this cute hairstyle you saw on TikTok. It is not the time at all. Because I remember when boho braids were trending. It is not a really bad hairstyle, but that is just an hairstyle you should do your natural hair when you're purposefully trying to grow your hair long or to retain more length. Stick with what you know that works. Stick with the hairstyle that you know that works, because you don't want to go and try out a new product and have your hair falling off. You don't want to go and try out a new hairstyle and find out that your hair does not really like that particular hairstyle. That is going to set you back from your goal, and we do not want a setback in our natural hair journey. Another important thing you should put in mind is you have to be consistent and you have to be patient. This is so important because hair growth does not happen in a day. It definitely does not happen in a week. You have to be patient to see the result that you're looking for, because most times we have had years of bad hair care practices, and now that we have good hair care practices, we want growth to just happen in the twinkle of an eye. No, it will not happen that way. It will take time for your hair to adjust and get used to the new good hair care practices that you're introducing to it for it to, begin to grow and flourish. So you have to be patient and you have to be really, really consistent. I hope that this video has been helpful, that you have been able to learn a thing or two. If you did, do not forget to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you share this video with your friends, because you don't want to keep this information to yourself, do you? Share the video with your friends. Share the video with your friends that are newly natural. Share the video with your friends that have been natural but are still trying to, find their way around being natural. Send this video to them. Also, do not forget to subscribe to this channel. Turn on your post notification, because I want you to be notified when I upload new content, new helpful content. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.